Hello, sorry that there was no video last week. I just got back from holiday and I was literally like crawling through washing. I thought there would be two things. This is kind of like housekeeping. How boring is that? I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it September reading list or something. That sounds boring too. Okay, I've been getting some recommendations, and so I thought what would be useful, because I've been writing them down, and then I was like, maybe other people want to know what the recommendations are. So what I've done is on my blog, where all these videos are uploaded, I have a makeup blog. I'm a makeup artist, but I have a everything else blog, which is kind of food but books as well. And on that blog, which is www.blueskyandbunting.com, I've made a reading list, and it's called something like Book Club Recommends, and it's a page on the side, and I'll just put a link to that below every book video, and then it's just like in fiction and non-fiction, so you can just see what books are on there that I've been recommended. I'm going to put them on there even if they're books that I'm never going to read, like sci-fi, or if I've read them already. And then I just thought it'd be useful for book people who might think, oh, what should I read? There'll be a list there. On that blog already, I kind of have what I've read, which is what this started from, because it takes a long time for me to type out what I've read. But also someone said, mocking me. Someone mocked me, and I'm just gonna go with it. That I should tell you what I'm currently reading, so if you want to read along. So what I thought would be more useful is if I told you what my pile of books is, and then if one of them takes your fancy or you're reading it or whatever, we could talk about it like that. Two things that I'm constantly reading, well, I'm not constantly reading, two non-book things that I have are, I got 2 subscriptions for my birthday. I got Slightly Foxed, which is a quarterly magazine and book distributor, and my husband got me London Review of Books, which is, as it sounds, reviews of books but also current affairs, so they're really nice to have together, but I'll do separate videos on both of those so you can have more of an in-depth look. So, rather fittingly, today is Agatha Christie's birthday, and I'm halfway through, I'm more than halfway through, 3/4 of the way through one of her most famous, which is Death on the Nile. And because this was one of the first TV adaptations I saw with Peter Ustinov and Mia Farrow, it really stuck with me. So I could tell you everything that happens in this. And I haven't read it, I mean I haven't read it for 10 years or so, and I could still have sat down and told you basically chapter by chapter what happens. But what's really nice is that I forget every time I read it how atmospheric it is. I've never been to Egypt, I've never been on the Nile, but she is so good at creating the atmosphere, which is part of what I love about her. And this is a really good one for that. So even if you know what's happening, the rest of it is just so incredible. So I'm nearly finished that, and then I'm going to force myself to have a little Agatha Christie break, or I'm going to have a break from, I might read some other Agatha Christie non-crime stuff. If that makes sense. I might read some like non-fiction about Agatha Christie. But Appointment with Death is my next one, so that will probably be in October. So I'm going to finish this one quite soon. Then I'm going to go back to reading this, which I started before we went on holiday, but it's so heavy that I didn't take it on holiday. I've got 100 pages in to this. And this is The Mad Boy Lord Berners, My Grandmother and Me by Sofka Zinoviev. And it's about Lord Berners, basically. It's sort of about Lord Berners, sort of about Lord Berners' boyfriend who lived with him and who inherited his house. Sorry, the dog's barking because the postman's arrived. And the house itself. So for those of you who don't know, Lord Berners is a sort of wartime era English eccentric who created this amazing house, who was friends with Nancy Mitford, and she wrote about him in The Pursuit of Love. He is their eccentric neighbour, and he created this beautiful house, and he dyed his doves all pastel colours. And just was a sort of lover of beautiful things, and although wasn't attractive himself to look at necessarily, had this sort of easy charm and wit, and loved sort of creating this incredible atmosphere for people. And sort of Penelope Betjeman, John Betjeman's wife, used to bring her horse round for tea. In fact, there's a picture of him coming out of the front door, and so there was this, and it's all about his relationship with his live-in boyfriend, who also was married and had a child. So it's all kind of, it's just fantastic. For those of you who are fans of sort of Nancy Mitford and the 20s, 30s, 40s eccentricities that came out in this country, and that sort of an insight into family life and things, then it might be for you. I'm loving it. It's quite nice because I'm going to finish a really good Agatha Christie, and then I'm going to read this, and then I have something which is literally the only reason I came back from holiday. This was on my doorstep to stub my toe as I came through the front door. The newest Jilly Cooper. Look at I haven't even looked at the back. Look at the pretty horse. It looks like my sister's old horse. You either love Jilly Cooper or you hate her, or you're slightly indifferent. I love Jilly Cooper, and if you love Jilly Cooper, it doesn't matter that this is probably not going to be as good as Rivals. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's Jilly Cooper. It's like a cult. It's like being a member of a cult. A really nice, free, a book every 10 years cult, but still. What was her most recent one? Wicked. I think Wicked was her most recent one. No, Jump. And they're all kind of a bit, but it doesn't matter because it's Jilly Cooper. So after I've finished about Lord Berners, I'm going to read this. Most of my girlfriends on Twitter have posted a picture of them with this book because they are that excited about it coming out. And so I'm basically in book heaven. I've got finished Agatha Christie, got a really cool, nice bit of non-fiction, and then I've got the latest Jilly Cooper. And I open it, and it already there's questionable racial stereotyping. You've just gotta love Jilly Cooper. Although the last one, she killed off somebody. She killed off one of my favourite characters. Not cool, Jilly. Not cool. Anyway, that's it. So I think that's going to take me pretty much... What are we now? Yeah, that'll take me pretty much into end of October. What are you reading? Is anyone reading any of these 3 books and wants to chat about them? Is there anything from this book club that I'm not delivering that you want? Because I'm not sure what else I can do in this one-way format. Anyway, leave your suggestions below for books that I might want to read, and I will put a link in the description box of the current recommends, and I've only put 3 on there at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. Leave comments. Bye!